Okay, so we got a chainsaw here. I've already diagnosed it. It's a carburetor and a fuel line issue. Just a lot of fuel issues. Put some starting fluid in the carburetor, started right up and died. Clearly a carburetor or fuel issue. So instead of fishing around trying to figure out if the carburetor was bad or if it's just the fuel lines, after I priced everything out, it was just cheaper to buy the aftermarket carburetor. It comes with a new priming bulb, which this one needs because this one's broken stiff. New fuel lines, spark plug, you know, the whole ball of wax for 20 bucks, 25 bucks, something like that. So why not just get that instead of trying to piece it all together and end up spending 30? And you get a new carburetor out of the deal. I have a chainsaw just like this one. I bought it, you know, about 20 years ago. I don't use it very often, but I kind of like it. So we'll get this thing disassembled. And then we'll take off the grounding wires. So these are the shutoff wires. And so the air filter, this didn't have an air filter on it. Here's the fuel lines, and I can't even pick it up, it just snaps. So here's what a yellow fuel line does. It just breaks. Well, now I can, yeah, like that. Now, yellow fuel line is much better than black. At least it breaks. The black disintegrates, gets into your fuel, and just messes up the carburetor. You got to clean it all out. It's just an absolute nightmare. Okay, so I took the cover off here, the pull rope cover, because I need to get the priming bulb out, and it was just too difficult to do with it on. It was 4 torque screws. I didn't do it on camera, so I apologize, but it was just 4 torque screws. And then we're gonna, so what the priming bulb looks like is it's got 2 clips on it right here, and those clips have to pop in. Well, then to get it out, you got to pop those clips out. Okay, so you might be able to see that there's a crack in it. It's very hard, so we'll replace that. Now I'm not going to pop that in just yet. I'm going to put all my hoses in, make sure I have everything lined up the way it's supposed to be. So I got to run a hose in 2 different holes. There's one hole here, one hole back here. Now it's different size holes. Now these hoses, the fuel hoses, actually create a seal so gas doesn't run out of the fuel tank. So this goes straight into the fuel tank. Well, this hose over here, the hole over here, is much bigger, so I can't use this fuel line for it. I will have to use this fuel line for it. And you might be able to see that there's a significant difference. So what we're going to do is create a tip in the hose so we can get it to go through the hole. See if that'll work. I got it kind of thin. It might break when I pull it through. I know it's hard for you to see, so we're going to try to jam it in there. Nope, I got to trim it up a bit more on the tip. It's not got a sharp enough tip on it. And then we'll come down underneath here with our scissors. I know what they're called, I just don't say it on YouTube. And then I know you're not going to be able to see it, but what I'll do is I'll grab that tip. I'm going to twist it a bit, kind of wrap it around the scissors, and that'll pull the hose, the fuel line. Like that. And cut off the end. So I have a fuel filter, holding it with a towel. We're going to put that in here. Hopefully. It's very small. Okay, now we're going to drop it in the tank and make sure that it lays down on the bottom good, and adjust the fuel line as necessary. Oh, I found the old fuel filter. I was thinking mine fell off. There's the old one, I guess. Well, I don't guess, I know, because mine's still in there. Okay, and then we're going to just do it again with the larger fuel line. And that's the danger of these hoses, is you'll rip it and you have to do it over. So I won't bore you with having to do it again. Alright, so I got the second time through, and we're going to cut this tip off. And then we have to put in a little retainer. And the reason, this is the return line. So when you push a priming bulb, the gas goes through the carburetor and the gas goes back into the fuel tank. This retainer we put at the end of the tube here so you don't yank the tube back out by accident sometime. Okay, so now we have the return. We can start to put our fuel lines on it. On the priming bulb, I should have said. And so the suction is the top one, the small. So when I put my finger over it, it holds the priming bulb in. I let go. So that means the other one is the return. So we'll put the return on. And the other one is a short hose that goes into the carburetor. So we'll put this hose on, and then when we get the carburetor put on, we can attach this hose to this side and this hose to this side of the carburetor. So what happens is fuel will come out of the tank to this side of the carburetor, through this hose, through the priming bulb, and then back into the tank. Okay, so here's the new carburetor. So we'll put the impulse on, and then we'll put the linkage on. I'm going to put the other one on. You can't see, but I'm putting the other hose on now to the other side right there. Now we're going to put these wires back on, the shutoff wires. Okay, so now we'll put the priming bulb in, snap it in. check for flow now. Make sure the priming bulb is working correctly. Yep. Okay, so that works. So now we'll change the spark plug. Hope I can inspire you to spoil yourself when you're living your dreams. Thanks for watching.